This week on The Valley.
A lot of demons inside me. I feel like this place is just allowing me to talk about it all. I can't keep going like this. It's just killing me. It's killing my wife. It's killing my family. And it's going to destroy my son if I don't get fixed.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Valley, Season 2, Episode 4. Let's get right into this. So everybody is getting ready for Jesse's Santa Barbara couples trip. Michelle is apprehensive of going. Zach and Janet are going to see each other for the very first time. Then everyone meets up at Jason and Janet's house. They're all going in separate cars. So in one car, Jasmine, Zach, Nia, and Danny are riding together. It was funny that Zach was telling them about his boyfriend Benji and how he wasn't going, he was going to miss him or whatever. And Jasmine brought this little cutout on a popsicle stick so that Zach can have his little Benji with him. In the other car, Brittany is getting bombarded with text messages. Jax is in his facility. He's doing a lot of work, therapy, and things like that. But when he gets a short, 15-minute phone break, he starts to spam Brittany with text messages, just rage texting. Michelle is still complaining about Jesse. The audacity of her to come on a trip that Jesse planned, that Jesse organized, and still talking bad about him to everyone. She is something else. Now, to be fair, he did just put it out there that he thinks she's sleeping with a man for money. So I do get that. So soon enough, they get to their destination. It's a very nice house. It looked amazing. It looked like an elegant hacienda vibes type of place. Each couple gets their room. They're settling in. And then they get ready to go to a race car race. So like a NASCAR race. As everybody's getting ready, Kristen and Luke, they sneaked in a quickie, which, they are trying to have a baby, so gotta take advantage. I loved all of their outfits. Now, this was the funny plot twist. They were told they were going to go see, a race car race, but no, they go to this place that has small remote control cars that they will be racing. So as they arrive there, Brittany says that Jax won't stop texting her. Kristen says that she actually got a text from Jax today, but it was a really nice text. So Brittany thinks that he's trying to trick them into making it seem like everything is okay and that he's in a good mood. But then the messages that Brittany shows that Jax has been sending, my goodness, it was a mess. It's I just can't believe people can be so old in age but so immature at the same time. I've been honest that I don't think Brittany is perfect or was perfect in her marriage. She did a lot of bad stuff too, but I think that she truly does want Jax to get help. So then they begin to actually play with these cars. They divide into teams, and depending on who the winner are, the winners face off, and whoever wins doesn't have to help do any chores or clean up at the house tonight or whatever. It was fun watching them play. I would actually love to play this with my friends. The winners ended up being Danny, Zach, and Jason. So a little later, Brittany sees that the press has picked up the story that Jax is in a facility. Brittany doesn't want anyone to reach out to Jax so that he doesn't know that they're all here at a trip. But Jesse says, well, I've already told him because I talk to him every day, so I did tell him. So then Jesse talks to Janet and Brittany because he doesn't like the fact that they, mainly Janet, have sort of been leading a charge to socially bully his girlfriend, who's now he's now calling her friend, but he's talking about his girlfriend. So calling people to talk about her. Janet says, well, I didn't have anything bad to say about her. And Brittany says, yeah, at first I thought she was great until I found out about the letter that she wrote to Michelle, which I think is disgusting. Jesse says, well, Michelle was saying things that weren't true, telling others that she was sleeping with other people and things like that. Janet asks, well, are you guys together now? Jesse says, no, not right now. Janet's like, well, why are you defending her right now then? Jesse says, don't manipulate this. Don't try and play this effing game. You're not suited for this game. Janet says to him, listen, your friend shouldn't be threatening to sue people. Jesse says, well, your friend shouldn't have been cheating on me. Talk about Michelle. So Janet says, well, if I was married to you, I would have cheated on you too. Damn. I will say, knowing Jesse, I could see that he was starting to get a little aggressive. So I'm glad that it didn't get to that point where, it would have became disrespectful. But he has a right to question Janet because she definitely is a mess starter. So I'm not mad at him for asking those questions. So then they all head back to the house. By the way, Melissa was on the trip too. She seems very nice. So they begin to cook. I love that everyone's participating, doing something. And then Zach thinks it's a good time to talk to Janet, finally. So he offered her a beer, everything, good vibes. So then they go outside. Zach tells her that he knows he's responsible for a lot of things and that she's responsible for some other things as well. He says that what happened last year, he thought he had apologized and that they were cool, but then Janet dropped him like all of a sudden. And like she didn't invite him to the Big Bear trip, and he honestly thought that she didn't care about him. So he was very hurt. Janet says that, at the time they were not in the best of place. The conversation that they had at the finale definitely went south. She says to him, Brittany came to me after the opening of Jax's, and she took me out to have lunch the next day, and she told me the comment that you made. And that cut me. Like, that definitely hurt me. Zach admits to what he said and how he was wrong. He says he was drunk. He was mad, but he was wrong. Zach then calls Nia for support. He just needed to hold her hand. But it was actually very nice because then Janet holds his hand and then tells him that, like, let's just move forward. It's always nice when people move forward. But what we really need to talk about here is that Janet never heard this bad comment that Zach made at the finale. The only reason Janet knows about this is because Brittany told Janet the next day. So I'm sorry, but Brittany absolutely made things worse. If I have two friends and they're really good friends of mine and they're at odds at the moment and one of them says something bad about the other, I would never go tell my other friend what they said because all I know it's gonna just hurt them and make the situation worse. What outcome was Brittany expecting was gonna come out of that? So that's just my opinion. But moving on, Kristen invited a spiritual guide, to help everybody. But Kristen's a little down right now because she took a test and the test said that today was like the last day of ovulation. And this isn't the first time that she's off the cycle. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but she keeps being off, and that really broke her. It was really sad. She says to Luke, like, I don't know why I can't figure this out. I hate my body. Like, what's wrong with me? That was really sad. But it was nice to see Nia come support her as well. Nia's like everyone's support system. I love that. But then, you guys, Zach is in his room and he's crying, and Brittany comes in and she's like, why are you crying? I thought things were all right. And he says, she told me that you took her to lunch the next day. Brittany says, well, I would have done the same if it was for you. But the thing is, Zach doesn't totally believe that. But anyway, then the food is ready, they eat, and then they head out for the spiritual healing session. So she does a cleansing. Brittany wouldn't stop laughing. I was like, control yourself. They have to each go, and in the middle of the circle, there was like flowers and like different petals, and they all had to each go and say, like, what do they want to release? What do they want to receive? Brittany goes first, then Michelle. Jesse was getting emotional, so he didn't want to go. But everybody else went. Jason, Janet, Nia, Luke. And, they all want, like, happiness, joy, confidence, a new life, family. And listen, I thought this was a very real scene. People were getting emotional. They were feeling their true feelings. I thought it was a very honest and vulnerable scene. They then all get up and are told that they want to bring up anything else. And Jason says that there is somebody who's not here, Jax, and he would like for them to send good energy to help him get better. I thought that was very sweet as well, like, true friendship. Then they show a video diary that Jax made about his time at the treatment center. He says that he does feel alone and neglected by Brittany. He admits that he's sick and has a lot of demons that he's battling. It was kind of sad because, towards the end of that, I did think he was being very, very vulnerable when he mentioned that he's like ruining everything and the relationship with his wife, his child. So it was hard to watch. But going back to the trip, Danny says goodbye because he has to leave for a job that he has. Listen, with all the kids they have and wanting to buy a house, go get that job. Everyone else, though, they're going to do one more exercise. Kristen and Luke, they have this ball called the gratitude ball. So they're going to throw it to each other. And when you get it, say what something that you're grateful for. So Brittany gets it. She says that she's really grateful for her son. She hands it over to Jesse. Jesse starts to cry. He says that he's in the middle of a very toxic situation. So the fact that his daughter is thriving, he's very grateful for that. Michelle's not really even looking at him, but then he throws the ball to her. Then it was weird. Jesse says to Zach, don't roll your eyes at Michelle. Like, I'll come beat you up or something. And Zach's like, I'm rolling my eyes at you. That was weird. Anyway, Michelle is able to say that a great moment that she did have with Jesse was when they were trying to when they decided to have a child together. Jesse then gets up and walks away, and Jason goes to check up on him, and Jesse's like cussing out production. It was weird. This is reminding me of why I never liked him in the first place. When he gets in like situations where he feels stressed or whatever, like he'll lash out in such a horrible way that's like, I get it. People get frustrated. They're in their moment. But when you start treating other people like crap, no, that's where I'm like, oh. Mm-mm. But you guys, this was a good episode. Nothing crazy, but some very, I think, genuine and vulnerable and real scenes from the group. Some resolution was made with Janet and Zach. But again, we do have that little question now of like, Brittany, are you stirring the pot willingly? But anyway, you guys, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.